I welcome you to this week edition on CTM. So last week we talked about different communication styles, namely passive, passive-aggressive, assertive, and of course, aggressive. I'm laughing because so many people are of the opinion that I have the aggressive communication style. However, I would like to explicitly state that I have an assertive communication style. Argue with your keypad. But then that's by the way. So I want to say welcome back. So this week, like I said last week, we'll be discussing how to communicate with these different types of communicators. Now, I would like to state that communication style is fluid in the sense that at some point you can have the intention to talk to your in-laws passively and then you find yourself being aggressive. And sometimes it's possible you could have the intention to be assertive and then you find yourself being passive-aggressive. However, it's been stated that the assertive communication style is the best communication style. Here, you actually state your needs and wants, but also you are aware of others' needs and wants. You are aware of other people's needs and wants. Now, that's the beauty of the assertive communication style. Unlike the passive communication style that restricts you from voicing your opinion or how you feel, or the passive-aggressive that just makes you murmur behind and feel frustrated and conflicted without necessarily being able to confront the issue. And unlike the aggressive communication style that actually doesn't give room to listen to others. Now, being assertive as a way of ensuring that you attend to the needs of others while you're also being focused on the general goal and objective. Now, which brings me down to this assertive communication style. So that's what I'll be narrowing down on. But before I move on to that, I would like to tell you that just in case you recognize that someone is using the passive communication style, this is for you to know that this particular individual might not be comfortable talking in the audience of others. So for that kind of person, it helps if you can meet them one-on-one and try and understand what it is they have in mind so that they don't end up resenting you. For the passive-aggressive, after all is said and done, and the passive person has said, oh, it's okay, no problem. Of course, you know that for the passive-aggressive person, they still have something in their mind. So it helps if you can meet them and be like, hi, I hope everything is okay. I feel something is still wrong. Now this will give them the avenue to open up and actually let out their frustrations concerning the issue that is being discussed. And for the aggressive, which people feel they are the most difficult to deal with, the approach to handling this kind of people is let them talk at that time. Let them let out their aggression. And while they say they are wrong, and while they've already stated that they are right and you're wrong, you come from the angle of acknowledging what they've said. You tell them, oh, of course, I think you're right about this. And avoid using the word but. So you go to, and I think if we can do this. So somehow you've already brought in another angle. You'd be surprised by yes, you could actually get them over. While they are talking, let them talk, basically. Because of course, we know they will not listen. But then, later, you then come up and state what it is you want to state. And most of the time, it helps if you don't necessarily do it in front of others, so they don't feel the need to defend themselves because they're always on the defense. So they feel the moment you're trying to say something other than what it is you're thinking, you are attacking them. So that's how you can handle those three types of communicators. But for the assertive communicator, which is the best style of communicating, or they are the ones who are actually who are seen as the best communicators. For them, of course, there is no trick to it. With them, they are very considerate about what it is you have to say, and of course they listen, and of course they always come up with a solution that solves everybody else. So now I'm back to it. So what is it about the assertive communication style that you need to imbibe over time? Now, number one is they acknowledge they're wrong. So there are these people that will say, I believe, I think, I feel. They're the ones, they come from the angle of acknowledging self, the angle of being self-aware that, okay, I know this isn't, I know this isn't. However, I think this is how it is we can move forward. So that's number one. So if you want to be an assertive communicator, you must learn to actually acknowledge yourself first. You must learn to actually understand yourself first too. Self-awareness will help and go a long way. Another thing about these people too is they get to actually ask others what they think, in the sense that they ask you what's the situation. Now, they are not aggressive about it. They just ask, okay, what do you think? How do you think we can move forward? And while they do it, they're not being aggressive about it. So yes, they also use confrontation, but their form of confrontation is not in the sense of being aggressive. No, they just want to get the opinion of the other person. Another thing too that these people also do is such that they take out time to listen to people. I think that's one defect that I have in my assertive communication. Yes, I insist I'm an assertive person. Yes, so they actually take out time to also listen to others. So sometimes when people are talking, allow them to talk before you get respond. Actually, I'm learning to be a good listener now. I believe I'll be better. I'm getting better with time. So basically, that's the assertive communicator. They look at things not just from their own angle alone, but from every other person's angle. They acknowledge the way they feel. They acknowledge their position about things. They're very clear about it. So there are 3 tricks to this. You must be open, honest, and direct to be an assertive communicator. Open, honest, and direct. Those are the 3 things you need to become an assertive communicator. And like I said, communication style is fluid in the sense that the situation will tell you what form of communication style you should take on in addressing people. The way you address your in-law might differ from the way you address your colleagues at work, or the way you address your friends. Even among your friends, it depends on the subject that is being discussed. So everything boils down to self-awareness. How well do you know yourself? And that's what we'll be looking at in December. Self-awareness is something we'll be looking at in December. In other words, we'll be talking about the DISC assessment. Now, this particular assessment is very useful when you want to detect your communication style. I look forward to discussing that with you. But then, before I go, I'd like to say thank you. I mean, last December is here already. I started January, and here I am. For everyone that has subscribed, that have supported in any way, please, I'd like to say thank you. Please shout out to Kenny, to Toby, to Chiamaka, to Florence, to Mercy. I mean, these are people who have been my photographers or my videographers over time. They've been the ones holding the camera here and there, and I'm very grateful for such friends. Thank you all for your support, and for those of you that you take out time to tell me, I think this can be better, this can be better. I can't really mention most people's name, of course, but I want to say thank you very much. So on the last note, I'd like to say please like, share, and subscribe. See you next week. Bye.